Hi, my name's Tom. I was given this next product to give you an honest review, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. And you're thinking, what the heck is this? This is pretty clever. I was skeptical, but now that I've actually had it and used it, I'm not as skeptical. I actually really like this. This is a headband with speakers in it, and what it allows you to do is sleep. Watch this. So here's a couple quick things. So here's the headband itself. Let's talk about that. This thing is actually just fabric. It's got a couple quick buttons up in the front. You almost don't need to use them regularly if you connect to your phone. On the back here is a little clasp, and it has elastic, so it's nice and stretchy, and it is adjustable. There's a little adjuster. You can go back and forth if it's too small or if it's too tight or too small. I'm going to go ahead and put this on now. And the way this works is right here on both sides, you can barely see them. In the cloth, in the fabric itself, are little speakers. The speakers are really no bigger than a quarter or so, maybe like 2 or 3 quarters stacked together. They're fairly thin, and I'm going to put it on. And the way you do is you kind of arrange this so that the speakers are near your ears. They don't have to be perfectly on your ears. It's okay. Now what you do is you just kind of press this and turn it on. You hear that? It said power on. I'm not sure if you heard it because I can only hear it in my ears, and it connected to my phone. Now, it connects to Bluetooth, and the way you do is you turn it on and you connect it to, I think it says BT/D-Lab. Just turn on your Bluetooth setting. Now, on my phone, I can go ahead and turn on music, podcasts, white noise, and it all comes through these speakers. It really is pretty clever. Now, there are buttons up here to go ahead and change the volume back and forth, and you can go from one track to the next. Honestly, because they're on my head, I don't tend to remember where they are, so I was just using my phone, and I could just change the volume up and down. But here's the cool part, and this is absolutely true. I slept with these last night, and I was amazed. I was not thinking they were going to be comfortable. I thought, what the heck, got a beer headband on your head? Nope. I was sleeping there, and my dog was snoring, my wife was snoring. The guy outside his car was idling. He's about a block away, but I could hear it because he's got kind of this big muscle car, and I couldn't get to sleep. So I put this on, and I went ahead, and again, my speakers are right there. I went ahead, I turned it on, connected to my phone, I plugged my phone in, put my phone next to my nightstand, put on some white noise. I could hear the white noise through here. All of a sudden, everything else was just kind of faded away. The white noise was right next to my ear, but not in my ear. I don't like to wear earplugs or headphones when I go to sleep because they get stuck in there. My ears get all sweaty and hot. Not with this. It's very breathable. It's very comfortable. And I just put it in here, and I had that white noise, and it kind of drowned out everything else. And I fell asleep. And I slept for a good 5, 6 hours before I had to actually get up. I was like, what the heck? And it threw me off for a second. Like, wait a minute, what's this on my head? Nope, don't worry, it's cool. And I just loved it. I was actually really amazed. Now, I know, you're a side sleeper. So am I. And when you lay down like this, I was afraid that I would feel that speaker. I'm not going to lie to you. I feel it, but it doesn't hurt. It's so small and it's so flat. It just kind of is there. It fits in my ear just fine. It's the strangest thing because you don't think it's going to be comfortable, but it is. It's actually not bad at all, and it feels pretty comfortable. And you get used to it within a couple of minutes, and that's it. You just fall asleep. So, a couple quick other things about this. Now, obviously, it does have electronics in it. It does have a battery in it. They say it will last about 10 hours with the battery. That's fine. I trust it. I slept for about 7.5 hours last night, and it was fine. It lasted all the way long. So the way this works is I'm going to turn it inside out, sort of, and you'll see here. On the inside, you have a little plug that normally just tucks in here. Again, it looks like it would be uncomfortable, but it's so small and it's in this little padded sheath, you're not going to feel it. The way this works is you pull this out. You have a little charging cord that comes with it. You charge it up in there. It charges into a USB block, just a USB cord there. Any kind of a USB block that you have, you can use a laptop or whatever kind of block you have to charge it up. Again, they say it lasts about 10 hours. Once it's charged up, you just kind of put that in here, and then you just turn it on. It'll say connected, or you'll power off. It'll say power off, disconnecting, and that's it. And you're ready to go. You have speakers. It's like any other Bluetooth speaker, except you have two speakers sitting here in a little headband that holds against your ear. Every so often, you may want to wash this thing because if you wear it every night when you go to sleep, it eventually is going to get a little bit dirty. That's fine too. Believe it or not, all of these electronics, there's a little control panel, and then there's two speakers on each side and a couple wires. They all come out through little pockets. You can actually use your fingers and kind of just push them out through this little hole right here. It takes a little bit of work, but if you're only going to wash it, let's say once every 6 months or so, it's not a big deal. I was able to take all the electronics out in about 4 minutes of just kind of fiddling. I was able to put them all back in about 4 minutes of fiddling, and that's all there is to it. So once you get all the electronics out, you just put them to the side. You go ahead and you put this and go ahead and put it in the washing machine, wash it, that's fine, let it dry, put all the electronics back in, and you're ready to go for another couple months. So again, I didn't have big expectations. I wasn't sure what to expect, but after having this, holy smokes, it really does make a difference. This would be perfect for anyone who, let's say, needs to sleep at the job where there's a place where they have to sleep. Like firemen have to sometimes sleep overnight in places that are kind of loud and noisy and uncomfortable. If you have to work in a hospital, if you are going to be a patient in a hospital, with hospitals, tons of activity, it's never very quiet, earplugs are uncomfortable. This is the sort of thing you need. Again, if you're a music person, you could put on some music, just kind of sit there and fall asleep to music, podcasts, whatever you want. This will go ahead and play. Whatever your phone can play, this will play as well. I use white noise just because that's just what I do. But my wife's actually put it on a couple of, and she was playing around, but she was doing music and she was doing some of the social media apps, just sitting there watching videos while wearing this thing. She said, oh, it's kind of comfortable. It is. And the sound quality is much better than you'd expect out of two little speakers sitting next to your ears. Because they're so close and because it's so comfortable, it just makes it all worthwhile. So again, skeptical, but yeah, this is actually pretty cool and you should give it a shot. It's highly recommended.